Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to the committee, IKIP PGRI, for conducting this event. This is my very first time to get the opportunity in the International Conference of Literacy and Education event since I first grabbed the announcement from somewhere else on social media, and it's really an honor for me to be here. I'm a librarian who works in the province library of West Kalimantan for a government institution. I became a librarian for about 4 years ago, and today I'm going to share you my presentation, which entitled Literacy Toward Golden Indonesia in 2045. I bring up this issue to share my idea about the importance of literacy for our country, which is I took the reference from an author, also a deputy from National Library of Indonesia, Mr. Adin Bondar, that recently published his book about literacy, and that was such a powerful book for me as a librarian. So I believe that people must be wondering what exactly the coherency between literacy and toward Golden Indonesia in 2045. So before I answer to the question, I think I really need to break out the definition of literacy to you. As you can see here, actually literacy has undergone to some different definitions from time to time, and I think I just want to put a shortcut. I'm not going to look up from the very first history. So if you remember our founding father, former President Sukarno, when we just declared the Independence Day, at least from 1948, the condition of the society at that time was about 96% of the people were unable to read. You can imagine, the analogy is like among 100 people, there were only 4 of them could read. So President Sukarno launched a legitimate campaign for the people to cope the problem so that they could read properly. It was a huge campaign, and President Sukarno became the first teacher within the campaign. So he himself became the first teacher within the campaign. And then time goes by. We had several leadership after President Sukarno passed away. We also remember from the period of 80s to 90s, there was a very well-known program named 6 Years Learning Obligation, or Wajib Belajar 6 Tahun, and I'm sure all of you know this program. And until November 2013, President Megawati launched a National Reading Movement program, or Gerakan Membaca Nasional, intended to raise up the culture of reading in Indonesia. And finally, according to our current president, Bapak Joko Widodo, in his development program from 2020 to 2024, parallelized with UNESCO and National Library we eventually can conclude that literacy is the basic ability of reading, writing, calculating, and speaking. It also includes the ability of understanding, analyzing, and synthesizing, and even much bigger, at a very high level, producing something in product or skill service. So this final definition of literacy has becoming a response to the condition of the world that we live now, like transfer of knowledge. And the final result of literacy is the strong human capital of Indonesia. So concerning about this, let me just remind you a little bit story of Japan. When they were bombarded by America at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the king told bravely to the citizens to save three main components of people. They had to save teachers, lecturers, and librarians. And what did they do with those people? They stood up massively by taking tons of books from out of the country and translating those books into Japanese. And they put dozens of reading corners along the city and made reading culture in a very unique way by standing. That is why we found Japanese are stick with this culture until now. And they took over the knowledge and technology. So, in a short of summarize, as I mentioned earlier, the question, what is the relationship or what is the coherency between literacy and toward Golden Indonesia in 2045? So in 2045, we assume that we are going to have about 65% number of youth, which are very productive ages group of people, and this condition should be a trigger or like mandatory for this country to prepare them to be illiterate generations in the future as the great human resources in every aspect of life. So this generation should be better in morality first, intelligence, and that is how literacy has to do with human capital development. So through literacy, we hope that people can have a better future and most importantly, grow up together as a nation on becoming Golden Indonesia in 2045. I think I will close this presentation by picking a powerful message from American feminist, journalist, and philosopher Margareth Fuller. She mentioned, "Today you could just be a reader, tomorrow a leader." Thank you for all of your kind attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.